morning, everyone. Today we celebrate something that quietly shapes every part of our lives: design. Not just the kind you see in art galleries or logos, but the kind you live inside every single day. Look around you: the chair you're sitting on, the phone in your hand, the layout of your classroom, the app you opened this morning. None of these are accidents. Someone imagined them, someone designed them. And you know what? The interesting part of all this is that that's where I want to begin. That design is not decoration, design is intention. And you know what? Whenever we talk about the decoration or intention, when most people hear the word design, they think of colors, fonts, or maybe fashion. But design is much deeper than that. Design is how something works. Design is how something feels. Design is how something solves a problem. And it is also said that the ones who design, they do a business. It is a money-making process. A well-designed door tells you whether to push or pull without a sign. A well-designed app helps you to do what you need without confusion. A well-designed space makes you feel calm, safe, or inspired without saying a word. That's the power of design. It speaks even when nothing is spoken. But here's something even more important. Design is everywhere because problems are everywhere. And every problem is an opportunity to design something better. I mean, think about it. Once or twice, why do we think of designing a floor? Why do we think of redesigning cities? Because people need better ways to move, right? Why do we redesign classrooms? Because students learn differently? That's the answer. Why do we redesign technology? Because the world keeps changing, right? So design is not just about making things look good. It is also a way of making life work better. Am I right or wrong? Right? So let me ask you something. Have you ever felt frustrated using something? For example, a confusing website, a complicated remote control, a school project that made no sense at all. That frustration is a design problem. And the moment you notice it, you are already thinking like a designer. You're not at all pursuing a career as a designer, but the thought has already come in your mind as a designer that you want to do something about it. Because designers don't just accept things as they are. They ask, why is this difficult? How can this be simpler? And how can this be better for people? And that brings me to the heart of today's message. That I think that almost most of the listeners, they want to hear, right? Design is empathy. Let me put it like this. To design something meaningful, you must understand people, not just what they say, but what they feel. A good designer doesn't just create, they listen. And they listen it very carefully because they are considered as good observants. And you know what? The most important part of all this that they care. They care what they hear, they care about what they heard or what they heard. Because at the end of the day, design is not about objects, it's also about people's feelings. And let me share a very simple idea. Imagine two water bottles. One looks beautiful but is hard to open, and the other is simple but easy to use. Which one would you choose? The one looks beautiful but is hard to open, or the other is simple but easy to use? Mostly, people will choose the second one because it's very simple. It's very easy to use, right? But the reason is that good design is not about impressing people. It's just about serving them. But it's very simple. It's easy to use. Okay, so moving on to the next topic, I would like to add creativity in it. So now let's talk about creativity. Many people think I am not creative, so design is not for me. That's not true. Creativity is not about being artistic. Even though I'm an artist because I paint, I draw also on my Canva. I do Canva painting, landscape paintings. But if I talk about creativity, then creativity is not just being artistic. It's about seeing things differently. It's about asking what if? What if this was easier? What if this was faster? What if this made someone smile? Even small ideas can lead to powerful designs. In fact, the best designs often come from simple observations. You're not supposed to create face expressions, you're not supposed to create big paintings. You can just doodle and you can just color it. You can just make hand impressions also. Here's something very exciting. You don't have to be professional to be a designer. You are already designing your life. Don't you think it's very interesting that you are designing your life? You are thinking about your life. You're already making the choices for your life. Like every choice you make, how you organize your time, how you present your ideas, how you solve your problems. Don't you think it's just amazing? It's just an amazing idea that how design leads to creativity and how creativity is leading to a phase of life that you forget to design or that you want to design or that you have designed it already. And that is design. And now let me introduce a very powerful idea behind it, that design is like a dance. Have you ever connected to all these things? Not yet, I guess. But think about a dancer. When you watch them perform, it looks effortless, graceful, beautiful. Be it salsa, zumba, Latin dance, Bharatanatyam, Kathak. But behind that beauty is something very invisible that you miss it. That's discipline. So hours of practice, repeating the same move again and again, falling, correcting, trying again. Design works the same way. The best designs don't happen in one try. And that's how the dance happens. It doesn't happen in one try. They are shaped through practice, patience, and persistence. And that's how a dancer doesn't just move randomly. Every step has purpose. Every movement has balance. And every pause has a meaning. And that's why at the end of every performance we clap and we applaud that, oh my god, what a good ballet dance, what a good ballet dancer she was. In the same way, a designer must learn to balance also, the way how a ballet dancer balances foot. So creativity and clarity, beauty and function, ideas and execution. Without discipline, creativity becomes chaos. So discipline is really important in life, creativity, and without creativity, discipline becomes routine. But when both come together, that's when design becomes powerful. And that's how the life also becomes very powerful. You're not supposed to think like Einstein, or you're not supposed to think like anyone who think it technically. It's just about discipline. And now I want to share something very personal. That there was a time when I thought design was only about making things look nice. I used to think about, would focus on like colors, layouts, and small details, but something always felt incomplete. Then I started noticing something different. I noticed how people use things, where they get confused, where they hesitated, where they smiled. And I realized design is not about what I like, it's about what works for others. Okay, so during school days, my teacher used to ask me to draw a balloon seller, and I used to feel so hesitated that how am I going to make a hand, how am I going to make the face, and how all things will work out. But it's just about what works for others, right? There were moments when I used to get so frustrated, my ideas didn't work, when things didn't look right, when I felt like giving up during the balloon seller session. But you know what? That's where the discipline came in. I used to show up again for every art class. I used to try again and again and used to improve little by little. So initially I got C grade, but then I started getting B plus for the same balloon seller. So just like learning a dance step, awkward at first, then better, then natural. So it started all getting connected. Then I started learning Bharatanatyam, and then I suddenly started enjoying the process. So during the half sitting process, I used to feel so irritated, but the final result and the journey of creating something meaningful turned out to be so beautiful that I started loving the form of dance form. Because whenever I was thinking about it, I was not thinking about it as a designer or an engineer or teacher or anything else. I was just doing it as a learner. So remember this. Your craft matters, your discipline matters, but your learning also matters. So keep learning, keep improving, keep observing the world around you. Because great design is not created overnight. That's how I never learned how to make a balloon seller. That's how I never learned Bharatanatyam. I used to practice daily. It is built step by step, just like a dance. So as we celebrate World Design Day today, I want to leave you with one thought. The world does not just need more things. It needs better ideas, better solutions, better experiences. And those can come from anyone, even you. So the next time you see a problem, don't ignore it. Okay? Don't ignore it at all. Don't say that you can't do it. Don't say that you can't accept it. Don't accept it as a problem. Just ask yourself, how can I design this better? Because that question has the power to change everything. I'm right or wrong? If I'm right, then please let me know in the comment section. If I'm wrong, then also just drop a comment. Thank you.